internet to the PSVG podcast. It's your boy Dad Ninja Dev, and of course, and as always, I'm joined by my main man, Mr. Donnie Eat the Hype Reese. How are you, bro?
I'm good. I've got a drink. I've had a productive day. Doing well. Doing pretty good.
Good. Also joining us as usual is Delvin Cookie Monster Cox.
What in the hell did you just say? Because it sounded like you said,
"Come
internet." like, whoa. We don't need to do that to the internet.
Talk about hentai.
We're already there. Okay. We just blew right past it. Okay.
I don't know how you didn't enunciate that welcome part. It didn't sound like welcome at all. It just said, come internet. I'm like, whoa. What kind of podcast am I on?
I mean, the way this day has been going, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
God.
On brand. Already.
On brand, for sure. And joining us as a special guest from the Nintendo Shack, Mr. Bland, Dr.
Shack
Bland Explosion.
Hey, how's it going? Well, where am I? Delvin just made me extremely uncomfortable.
Yes.
Right now.
Can we call you
what
Professor Oak?
Wait, what?
That's what he does.
Can I call you Professor Oak?
You can call me. Well, no, I'm not that old. Please.
No, it's the same thing. Doctor, professor, same thing.
Okay, we can get minutia on this, but no. I'm
Doctor,
technically
professor, scientist, all smart people.
Delvin, you got to know when to get out of a bad bit, my dude.
No,
it's not working.
Never.
You got to bail.
You know, the confusing thing that there's doctors and then there's medical doctors, and like there's a huge separation with that too. I'm definitely not a medical doctor. There were many questions from Delvin about certain spots, and I'm like, no, I'm not going there.
I
do work for a medical school now, though, so
that's cool.
At least for a year.
But you're not a medical doctor.
No, definitely not. Don't.
Also,
don't
not a professor.
Me. Can you prescribe me some?
No,
weed?
Not a professor. Yeah.
Some medicinal weed. I have glaucoma.
I cannot. Well, if you want me to, it's California.
I mean, could I just have you just sign?
He just writes it down on like a post-it note
on a piece of paper and just like throw it to you in Florida. Yeah. There you go.
Perfect. Doctor sending me Black Academy.
Sure.
Oh man, that's a classic right there. Half baked, it's good stuff.
Great.
Naughty jungle of love.
I'm not running the show here. Can I not chat when I'm not running the show?
No, you cannot chat.
No,
while
you cannot.
The fuck?
You gotta go to the Twitch chat.
I had to use Twitch chat on my phone.
You can't highlight the messages and everything like that. No,
I'm there.
I can't do anything.
I clicked over. Thank you, Sean.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a double stuff.
What does that even mean?
It's two white people.
I hope you get
two black sides.
Yeah.
The black sides, Garen,
the double stuffed Oreos. Yeah.
I mean, if it was in the correct order, sure, but no.
Notice how Dev put us. He split us. He segregated us.
Yeah,
maybe it's like a one-sided Oreo with cream.
That sounds terrible.
But I mean, isn't every episode like that? Like if Elaine were here, it'd still be a double stuffed Oreo episode, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's how we roll.
But she hasn't been here in forever. You know, so like
forever and ever.
Forever? She's pulling the Cody Rhodes.
Forever?
What was that?
I hate you, Sean. Just no. They don't need to.
Yes.
It's gross.
Get real close.
Real close. Ooh.
There we go.
For those of you who
Sean.
are not watching it, they just basically kissed on screen. It was real cute.
Should have put audio Brazzer sign under the.
It was Donnie's birthday gift.
We know what Delvin's been doing all day.
Yeah, he has. That's where his mind has been.
Porn on the mind
all day.
You mean every day?
Gosh. All right.
It's more so today than most days.
Yeah, enough.
What are we talking here?
We need to get off that. Let's talk about what we've been playing. And as always, when we have a guest, the guest gets to go first. So, Doctor, what you been playing?
Yes. I'm not gonna talk anything about Nintendo stuff right now. I've been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 back again. I'm on the backlog, but I'm not gonna mention any of that because, guys, I don't know what happened to me, and I don't know why this took years, because this game came out 2015, I think. It was like years ago. The Hunt is Calling, and I've been playing Bloodborne. No.
Oh.
I am not a Dark Souls fan. I am not. I have barely touched these games, even though I'm an RPG person. That's a huge gap in my my repertoire. But I wanted to try Bloodborne. One, because I have it, and two, I heard it's like one of the more accessible Soulsborne games out there, especially for a beginner, because it's like a little bit faster, more arcadey. And then also, it's just like I have it with me, so why not? And I didn't get it at first because I kept dying. You know, you die and you just go back to the beginning, and that's what you do over and over again for a good while. And then what I realized, and no one ever told me this, I guess I just had to figure it out. You go to the first boss and you figure out that you level up. It's like, oh, this is what you do. You go, well, once you unlock that leveling system, you grind and you grind and grind and grind until you get strong enough to hit the next boss, hit the next monster, hit the next area. That's where I'm at right now. I'm basically grinding that first level, and I'm having a blast. I'm just like listening to a podcast while I'm just owning these dudes now. I'm basically trying to overlevel to the point where I can just hit that first boss and go through it. So I'm slowly getting into it, guys, and we'll see if that transfers over to other Soulsborne games. I don't know. I don't know. Wait, you guys seem very disinterested. What do you guys think?
Not an ounce, not an inch, not a little, none.
Not a little.
Zero fun, sir.
Okay, zero fun. Got it.
I played it for a good bit. It's fun. It's hard as hell. The aesthetic of it is beautiful.
I agree with. Yeah. I've always thought Bloodborne was a very beautiful game.
Yeah. What is it? Victorian age setting that it's called. It's so beautiful. It plays a lot better than Demon Souls and stuff like that. It's a little bit more faster.
It should. It's like a decade later, right?
Yeah,
but it was like better than Demon Souls remake.
Yeah, really should.
You would think that, but Dark Souls games kind of move slower.
So way slower. Play the same
way slower. Bloodborne has a little quicker feel to it.
Garrett, when you say you've been grinding on this first boss and leveling up, how long have you put into just this?
Oh, like maybe, I don't know, just like 12 to 13 runs or something like that.
Basically, like is that in time?
That's like 2 hours. Or an hour and a half, something like that. I'm still going through that first area, and basically what you do is like you kind of beat monsters, you get the souls, and then if you want to go back, you can go back and just transfer them. And
I'm aware of it. And you kind of have that risk reward of pushing forward to gain more, or losing everything you have. You have like this gambling addiction.
Pretty much.
I have no idea this masochistic game.
It's a risk reward system, but also like you build certain attributes, and that's where the RPG-ness really gets at me, guys. It's the different skills that you build up, and then there's beginner builds, and then there's advanced Dark Souls builds and stuff like that. I can't wait to get into weapons and try out that, and the magic. I haven't even tried out that either. And there's always more areas to explore in that first area. Like I kind of go through the general route of that first level. I like know that back and forth, but you can turn a left turn, and there will be something new there. So it's going okay. So I'm a newbie, guys.
It seems repetitious, but when you play it, it's not.
I'm not believing you at all.
It's
slow paced. Yes, I will say that.
How slow the characters move, and how it's just like this is no. And I don't understand anybody calling this game beautiful. To me, it's like it's just ugly. It's just grimy. I don't like gothic. Like that type of aesthetic for me there's nothing beautiful about that at all. Like that's a surefire way to get me not to play your game. So
I will note that playing this game initially, like trying to start it, it's really rough because it's still PS4 graphics. It's still 30 frames.
And it's 30 frames. That was my biggest confusion. Like you've got a PS5 and this is This is what you chose to play.
Hey,
of all the things we have available.
No, they didn't.
Didn't they remaster it or something?
Demon Souls, they remastered.
Nothing to it.
Oh,
they remade.
Oh, okay.
They had not done nothing.
Why don't you just play that then? Why are you playing this?
Because I have it. I don't have Demon Souls.
Bloodborne is easier than Demon Souls.
Yeah, and Bloodborne is like more. I don't know. Like I seem it's easier for beginners because it's a little bit more arcadey, a little bit faster. You can like go through a horde of like if you're careful enough, you can go through like maybe a horde of monsters and just hack and slash 4 or 5 times and they're all dead. Like it's not like Dark Souls where you go one enemy and then you kind of like go all over them and make sure you hit right. It's a little bit faster.
You mean just
for sure.
Roll past everything? Just roll past all the
Or you can be like me, just kill one enemy, then go use the souls and upgrade immediately.
That's exactly what I do, man. And there's this like huge hodgepodge of like enemies in the middle, and then I just go in. It's like, all right, let me grab a couple guys. All right, let me string them out. All right, let's hack and slash, and that's basically how you do it.
Beat the system,
guys. It's
just
fun.
Turned me off to this game forever.
I'm not hooked. I just understand the leveling system now. It was a struggle to get there because you need to get to the first boss in order to get it. And that's like, I think that's one of the more frustrating parts. Now that I got that leveling system open up.
Just one of them. Hit the word right.
The whole thing is just one big frustrating part.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. It's my first baby step to get into Elden Ring. It is like, I feel like I need to understand this, and I was like, okay, then I have Dark Souls remastered on Steam. Let me try that out, and then Elden Ring is like ultimate goal for sure. But,
okay, I thought you were having fun. I thought you were talking about what is it? Triangle strategy.
I don't.
That's what I want to hear about.
I played that.
Oh, you played that? I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I played the demo.
I mean, I played the demo too. Yeah. 2 hours? Only 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. I just played it like one day. I was in the mood to play something new. It was like last weekend. And I had my Switch in my hand because I've been playing a lot of Retro Bowl lately. Mm-hmm. So I was just, let's see what this is like. I have no interest. I've had no interest in this game. And I played it for a couple hours and I didn't run out and buy it.
No.
But if there is no Fire Emblem game coming this year, I could see myself maybe trying to pick this one up on the cheap and giving it a try. Maybe.
Oh, really?
It's not like quite scratching that Fire Emblem itch. So I know Sean was like, it's Fire Emblem. It's like, it's not.
It's not Fire
Emblem. It's kind of, like it's just barely close, but it's not the same.
I mean, it has that theme to it for sure. Like thematically, yes, but gameplay and structure of the game.
Gameplay, no. It's not doing like, and I think that's why I didn't finish the demo. Because after, I think I did like 4 or 5 battles. After like 4 or 5 battles, I was like kind of bored. I was like, I'm just stacking everybody up and hitting attack over and over again. It's like this just kind of.
What do you mean 4 or 5 battles? You mean like actual battles?
Like the chapters.
I feel like I only did like 3 battles in total in that demo.
With the side missions?
Yeah, with side missions.
Maybe I'm just exaggerating.
Maybe I don't know. It's
I think I clicked into a week. I think I clicked into like 4 like icons. I don't know if they're called chapters or missions or like I don't know, but I clicked into 3 or 4 of them.
I thought you meant like actual battles.
Yeah, like, I'm just counting whatever the things on the map are.
Yeah, and I think there was only really 2 major like Final Fantasy Tactics battles in that demo. And the rest is dialogue, and the rest is
I think I
exploration.
Stopped. Then I probably stopped at like the first big one, like the bigger one. And it was fun. Like I said, it kind of is it, but it's not quite. I didn't enjoy the tactics part of it as much, but I did enjoy the story and the beautiful look of the game, especially in handheld mode. It is gorgeous. I would love to Fire Emblem game in that art style for sure. But maybe one day on the cheap, which probably means no. Not like maybe on Steam one day, way later.
It might be on Game Pass later.
I'll get it for $2.
Yeah, something like that. Steam Deck, he'll pick it up and he'll add it to his Scrooge McDuck money bin size vault of Steam games.
You have no idea.
No, I have an internal vault. That's just
you have no idea.
I completely understand what you
think you know.
No, I know.
You just throw a game into like a dark abyss and it just sucks.
I have been buying Steam games by the dozen the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Like
goodness.
it is insane. The amount of bundles and the amount of deals in the amount, like I think I've added like 100 games to my Steam library in like 2 or 3 weeks. Like a ton.
There's no surprises there.
And I've spent
None
like
whatsoever.
$42.
$12.
Right. It's not much.
Nope.
Get them on the cheap.
Ridiculous. Well, just keep going, Donnie. What else you been playing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I played a little more Cyberpunk. Jumped in, did a couple of missions. I was hanging out with Sean. He was doing a stream for a game for Guru. I think they raised over $2,500,
Nice.
which was awesome.
Good.
So he was doing a live stream, and I just hung out with him while I played Cyberpunk. And then I only played for a couple hours. I wanted to play more. I haven't played as much video games this week. I've been watching like a lot of movies and TV shows and stuff instead. But I did play about 3 or 4 hours of WWE 2K22 last night, launch day. I got the NWO edition, and I like it a lot. It's really, really good. Yeah.
Way better than last year's.
Oh, yeah. You mean 2 years ago, but yeah, way better. Oh,
Light
Sean,
years better.
3,600. Sorry, I speak out of turn. $3,600. So
Incredible.
they're gonna be doing giveaways soon, right? Did you guys pitch in?
I did.
I pitched in too. Yeah. You never know. Sean will do that wheel of death thing he does and start handing out prizes. That'll be exciting. Yeah, WWE 2K22 is the first game that we've gotten after they took a delay after their last game. This franchise has been troubled of late because their old developer, Uke, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Uke, they left and they had to give up to another developer. So they have a new team at 2K developing this game for the first time ever. And after their last show, which was a shit show, because they basically like took what Uke had and cobbled it together to put it out. And it was full of glitches and it was a mess. It looked awful. The characters were like Brad. That Switch version was terrible. Like really, you want to talk about a bad Switch port. That WWE 2K ranks among the worst. I mean, it's really
it's
bad.
really bad. I own it. It runs like a stopwatch.
It does.
It's really bad.
God.
It looks like it's running at like not even half speed, like a third of the speed that it should. Like literally, like almost in frames. It's so slow. It's real bad. It's real bad.
It's really bad.
That's awful.
So there's been rumors. I guess I'll rope in a little news here. I don't know if you had it in the stuff, but there's rumors dotting around that
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That WWE is potentially talking about EA possibly taking the WWE franchise, which I don't hate. Everybody does. Everybody on the internet, they're like, EA's awful. Let's listen here. Okay, gamers, I know we're all supposed to hate EA because you have that in your brain from 10 years ago. They've been doing pretty good work the last 3 or 4 years, really. Like, they've really tried to turn around their microtransaction reputation. They've really tried to turn their games around. They've moved away from making everything Frostbite. Like, they've let people use Unreal and Ignite and all the other engines that they have. So I wouldn't necessarily hate them moving to EA. That said, I wouldn't like it. Not for anything to do with EA. It's just that this game has already been troubled enough, like this franchise.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to move to EA.
Yeah, we've already had a 2-year delay, and like they just released a new build, and it's like a brand new engine. It's a brand new game. Like, and if they change developers for next year, then it'll be delayed again, and have to start all over again. And it's like I just don't want that to happen.
Right.
And the game they just released is pretty damn good. It looks amazing. I think WWE 2K22 is that quintessential sports game that you get like on a next gen console that looks incredible. Like the PS4, like what WWE or what NBA 2K did, like when you got your PS4, remember that first year? NBA looked amazing that first year on PS4. Whatever you care about the gameplay, it just looked incredible. You're like, damn, this looks amazing. That's WWE. This game looks so far better than like every other wrestling game you've played, just visually. And the game isn't all visuals. I understand that. But in a wrestling game, kind of like a racing game, it kind of is. The visuals are a very big part of it because half the time you're combing through menus and you're watching entrances and you're like watching animations, and then you're playing the game. I will also report that the gameplay is much improved. Or at least, I don't know if improved is the best word of saying it, but it's definitely different. And I think it'll appeal to more people. It's simplified. It's much more simple. And I was actually quite amazed not the right word, impressed. I'm very impressed with how much I was able to do in my first match with barely doing any training or looking at any of the controls. I did the little training thing. They have a little tutorial. It doesn't go over how to do basically like any advanced stuff. It doesn't show you how to jump off the turnbuckle or set up a table or climb a ladder. It doesn't do any of that, which if you've ever played some of the older 2K games can be hella complicated. You've got to make sure you're looking at the right thing and pressing the right button and combos. And you've got, what did they have? Those, I forget what they're called. They're basically like quick time events, chain wrestling events where you had to quick time back and forth, plus the quick time events for reversals. Very complicated. Like when people think sports games and they think of simulation sports games like NHL and NBA, and they talk about how complicated they are to play, that was very much like WWE 2K, like after 2K16. Like, so 17, 18, 2K20, like it's been that way. This is a very, very pared down version of the game. You've got a light attack, you got a strong attack. If you press a direction with one of those, it'll alter the attack. You've got a grapple, you press the light or the strong attack, and you'll do a move. If you press the direction with one of those, it'll alter the move that you do. And basically that's it. And if you like walk near the rope, you'll step out. And if you walk near the turnbuckle, you'll climb up. And if you go near that, you have a drag mechanic. It's a left bumper. That basically works for everything. It'll help you hop up the turnbuckle, hop out of the ring, grab a ladder, grab a table, set up a table. Like basically do everything. If you want to, one of the things that I used to
that's great.
Yes. One of the things I used to hate about the wrestling games for the last couple of years is cage matches were super complicated to like fucking just figure out how do I just throw somebody into the cage because it looks cool. In this game, you literally just grapple, hit the LB, walk near the cage and throw the attack, and they just maul the person into the cage. So last night I just spent 15 minutes just throwing people around the cage. It's just very accessible, easy to pick up and play. Maybe it's hard to master. I don't think so. Your special moves and your signature moves are basically hold left trigger and X. Like it'll tell you when you have one, and everybody's a little bit different because it depends on your wrestler, like where you can pull them off, but it'll tell you, but like special is available, and you hit the command and you do the special. So it's very, very easy to do cool shit. And it looks great while you're doing it. You're like, this looks amazing. So
look like wrestling.
It does. It looks looks real.
Yeah. Royal Rumble on the SNES.
Yes.
How simplified it was.
Like, it's very arcadey like that.
And that makes me very happy.
I think a lot of people will be. Now, to offer some criticism, I think it's a little light on the roster. That's okay because there's a creation tool. Last night, a roster
at this point.
Well, they finally.
There's a huge WWE roster. It's just full of WWE people, and half of them I don't think people know or care about.
And half of them are AEW people now.
Right, they're gone.
There's a creation tool where you'll be able to download as many people as you want, and the community always does a great job of supporting that. But last night I have not got into the servers yet. They've been
it wasn't open when I tried it.
Yeah, so just give it a couple of days, give it a week or two. If you're gonna pick this game up later, it'll be there. I'm sure it'll be fine. It just came out, so I'm not worried about it. But that'll be there, and once you get that in there, I think they could do a little bit to optimize like the roster select screen. So like when I go into cruiserweights, they've got like women, men, like they're all in there. I'm like, this doesn't work. This is not how that's supposed to work. And like, the GM mode, the campaign, from what I've read in reviews, I haven't played them yet. I rarely do, to be honest with you. I usually just set up my own matches and do my own belts.
I'm playing that.
Yeah, what I've been told is it's rather basic and kind of just straightforward and bare bones as well. Which the thing that I would always bring up is that's what I come to expect when I get like a next generation sports game. Usually they rebuild the engine, make everything much prettier, and then that serves as the platform to build off of. And if that's the case here, I'm really excited because I think the basics, the platform, the foundation that they've laid is super solid. Like it's really good.
Well, I will say this about that mode. They changed the universe mode a little bit. Well, the universe mode is usually where you can set up your own matches and things like that. And
that's like the My GM mode, right?
Yeah. They changed it where you can either do it the old school way where you can like set up Raw and SmackDown, but you're not necessarily the GM, you're just a matchmaker. Or you can pick one specific wrestler to go through their career with. And I'm doing that now with Big E, and it's a lot of fun. Like you can you have the matches. They get you certain matches. They tell you the position you're in. They give you the rivals that people you're rivaling with. And they're telling you, hey, you're number one contender for the world heavyweight title. And the next matchup is Money in the Bank. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it. You can set up rivalries. You can customize how you want it. I like it better that way because you can like get your own wrestler, like whether it's your creator wrestler or like I have Big E, and kind of tell your story that way. Or you can go into the My GM mode where you could be a general manager of Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, and book your show and try to be better than Stephanie McMahon or whoever's running the other side. And I think that's kind of cool as well. I know you got the NWO edition, so you will get Eric Bischoff as well as one of your GMs. You can create your own GM, or you can pick from Sonya Deville. What's the other guy name? I can't remember his name. He's in SmackDown now. Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and if you get like your version, Eric Bischoff. But it's very fun.
About Eric Bischoff, you can get out of here.
Dude, Eric Bischoff is the truth. Those NWO assets are for real. I mean, they're for life. It's amazing.
I wasn't paying $20 for it.
Those WCW,
I'm
like
surprised.
It's funny because like the rings, the arenas that you get, they look old. Like the presentation looks like it drops back in time. Like when you hit the Nitro ring, it's foggy and kind of hazier than the other arenas, and it kind of looks a lot like how Nitro used to look when you watched the damn show. I was like, this looks amazing. Last night I did Rey Mysterio and six pack. Yeah. So, and I did that for they don't have a cruiserweight title. So I did it for the light heavyweight title again, because I couldn't get into the creation tools, but I'll fill it all out. One of the cool things about the GM mode that I know people do, I've never done it, but it does seem somewhat entertaining. It's like there's a lot of YouTubers that'll set up like their own wrestling shows and just stream it, like just simulate the whole thing, and you can like follow a character like a person. Like we could do it with PSVG, where you just make everybody and then you just stream the show. You just book out the show.
No, that would be legit.
Let it run like it's computer simulated.
Yes.
Didn't he who should not be named do that?
I have no idea, but yeah, like
he did that.
A couple of the podcasts I listen to, they do that with like some funny stuff, and they actually do I've watched some of it, and it's actually some of it can be pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Delvin, that's your job. Make it happen. Make it happen, Delvin.
There's another thing I like about the game, but there's something I don't like about the game. Every game they have like one wrestler they highlight, whether it's Roman Reigns or this year's Rey Mysterio. You can play through their story. I always like, it's called the showcase. I always like playing through it because it gives you inside details, like Rey Mysterio sitting there and tell you about each match that you're going to watch or play through. And then you play through the match. You have to hit certain things in the match to unlock certain moments. This year, they did something different that I do not like. So I only played like one match in it. And the matches, I don't think it's Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in WCW. It's I think it's hair versus mask match.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're playing through the match, there's certain things you got to do. And usually when you achieve certain goals, what they do is they'll play it through a in-game cutscene. Okay, like they'll show you like it looked like Nitro, whatever's happened in Nitro, what happened. This time, for some reason, instead of doing that, they cut to the live footage of the match and play through that. Then it stops and goes back to you in game, and it's jarring because you go from in game.
I feel like that's what they did with the Dan O'Brien mode. That's the only time I've ever played it, but I remember Dan O'Brien's thing. They did the same thing.
They used to didn't do that. They used to do it in game, so it kind of fit the game itself, as opposed to like showing you this video footage, then cutting you right back in the middle of the match, which is jarring as hell.
I kind of like it. I'll have to play this one, but what I remember from the Dan O'Brien mode is I thought it was kind of cool because you would get like a clip of here's what Dan O'Brien did, like real life, and then now you try to pull it off.
Yeah, but they do that after you pull it off.
But like I said, I never really, to be honest with you, I never play those modes, man. I just hop in the exhibition, just set up matches, and just beat up. Last night I beat up Hulk Hogan for like an hour. Just power bombing that dude all over the damn place.
You said you was gonna do that,
and I get so much joy
to your word
from just watching him just barely be able to get up, just beg for his life as I just throw him around. You know, so much fun.
It's super fun. The game is
really
super fun. Unlike the other previous versions, that it got a little bit too technical.
Yep.
And when it got technical,
do you remember tag matches like 2K18?
Yes.
You had to like target your player and then hit the bumper and then get in the ring and then target the opponent. Like it's just a mess.
And if you wasn't in the right place, you wouldn't tag out. It was just so
you'd
bad.
Like get out of the ring instead of tagging. You just like leave. Like what the?
It was so bad.
Sounds awful.
Trying to do table matches was the worst. Like trying to just get anybody on the table so you could jump through it was just a nightmare. And last night I did a table match. I just Irish whipped a person to the table, and then I just did a move, and guess what move she picked? A suplex through the table, like exactly what you would expect her to at the time. You know, so like it's just way more straightforward. And also when you do the moves, like they hit animations, so everything looks really nice and smooth. It's not just like the match in front of you suplex. It'll snap to like a different camera. You'll hit the suplex, the camera will shake. You know, you get like a flash, and then you kind of pop back into gameplay. So it just has like this bigger feel. You know, everything's a little like everything, honestly. I don't know if you agree with this, Delvin. Everything just feels way closer. Like you're just zoomed in way closer to the ring. You're much closer to your wrestlers. Like everything just feels a little bigger than before.
I agree. And I like that the game reacts to where you're at in the ring. Like if you're close to the rope and you press the button, 9 times out of 10, you're going to use the rope against the opponent, as opposed to like before you try to do like a suplex. If you're close to the rope, it'll like push you away from the rope to do the suplex. And it's like,
or you'll jump out, or you'll step out. Like the last night, like that's what I said. I was kind of really impressed because last night I did like 2 springboard attacks over the rope, and I didn't do anything. I didn't even know how to do them. I walked to the rope and I hit the attack button, and it just did it. And I was like, well, that makes sense because that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. And like it seems like the game has a lot of that. There's a whole lot of it's very basic and easy, and you'll just sit there and tell yourself, well, that makes sense. That's easy. I didn't even, it was intuitive. I didn't even have to learn how.
That's good. I mean, contextual, like wherever you.
Oh, no.
Oh,
just as he was speaking.
What did you do?
Well, I didn't do anything. What did just happen?
See, you always thought it was me, not me.
Hey, you're playing Explosion now. That's what I see on the.
No,
screen.
I'm good. Yeah. On my end, I look fine.
Oh yeah.
2 bland explosions.
No, the name.
Twice as much blandness.
Twice.
Yeah, we don't need all that.
So ultimately, I was really happy with my first impression with it.
Glad you're having fun.
I do think the menus it's very basic. There's not a whole lot of extra. It's like one-on-one tag matches, cage matches, So
did you look at your roster like in full?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I like that. I guess because you paid for the NWO edition, I played for the deluxe edition. When I look at my roster, it shows everybody, and since we paid for them, they're all just unlocked.
Yeah, that's nice too.
As opposed to them showing, you have to pay 500 points to get the Macho Man.
I do feel like I was thinking about it yesterday, especially because with me, I'm older. I don't care as much about today's superstars as I do the superstars I grew up with. I feel like I'm like 30 or 40 like legends short. Like half the people in AEW and half the people from WCW and ECW are like missing.
Well,
especially the WCWs. Like the weird thing is like I've got titles from WCW and I've got WCW arenas and just like barely any characters that were there.
Yeah, I found that weird in terms of like if you're in Rey Mysterio's store, there are like huge chunks missing, like no La Parka, no Dean Malenko, and these people like no.
You're missing all of the animals. You're missing half the NWO. There's no DDP. Like I've got to download all those people to fill it out so I can actually kind of live out my little, action fantasy. So
is that just like a licensing thing, you think, or
probably, yeah.
I know DDP was signed to AEW at one point. Yeah, that's probably a
lot of people. Like Jericho's missing, obviously, because he's signed with AEW. So Jericho's not in the game. So I got to go download Jericho if I want to have any Jericho versus, Eddie Guerrero matches and stuff like that.
Yeah. Solid game though, really good.
On my list before I go is I picked up another Quest, the Quest 2 to be specific. Got the VR headset.
Another one.
I've been adding another one. I've been adding games to my wish list. This was an impulse purchase mainly because I picked up Hellblade on Steam. I was like, that's cool. It was really cheap. I was like, I'm going to play Hellblade on the Steam Deck. And when I bought it, they put Hellblade VR in my library. I didn't even know there was a Hellblade VR.
Oh, that's cool.
I was like, well, that sounds freaking awesome. I need to do that.
Right.
And Dev knows since I did this PC thing, I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I was like, I should probably just get another VR unit because I always liked VR. I sold mine when they were like, you've got to use Facebook. Now they've said like you don't have to use Facebook. We're going to change that. So now I was like, well, now I
use Meta now.
Well, no, they're gonna let you just use
Meta
your
account.
Oculus account. Like
I think it's called the Meta Quest, actually.
Oh, is it?
Oh no.
Well,
that's a terrible.
Yeah,
I signed in. I got all my purchases. Do you remember the amount of effort that I had to do to like make the first quest work with Steam and my PC? Remember, I had to like jailbreak it and side load it and do all that. So basically, all of that stuff now is just baked into the UI. Like you either plug it in, or they actually have the wireless streaming thing now. So you can just go in there, you can enable AirLink, you can pair it to your PC like Bluetooth, and you can just play completely wirelessly if you want. So in addition to my gigantic splurge on Steam to make sure that when my Steam Deck arrives that I have bountiful amounts of games to choose from. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. I'm also now starting to wish list and look around for more VR purchases. So if anybody out there has any VR games that they've played in the last, call it 18 months since I've had a VR that you'd like to recommend to me, let me know. I wish listed about 30 of them today, coming through like best of the year list. I bought one though, my last game that I talked about, called Golf Plus, PGA Golf Plus, and it's fucking awesome. It's the golf game I always wanted VR to have. It legit puts you down on like a little VR course and you swing the club and you full swing the club like Wii Sports and it reacts to you and it's pretty damn good. Like aiming and everything, it's all there. So it was like $20-$30 and then they sell additional courses. Everything on VR, especially if you're going straight through quests, is expensive. Like everything is kind of premium. I was very happy to see just how easy it works with Steam. I don't have to jump through all those hoops I did last time. So I'll be dropping some Steam VR purchases soon. I know there's like a Medal of Honor game that dropped to VR. There's a new Jurassic World game that dropped to VR. So I'm excited to get into some of those.
I will say this about Quest. They are always giving you like $10. Like,
yeah, they do.
Hey, you want to buy some games? Here's
$10. I want to try Resident Evil 4 in VR. Apparently that's amazing. Everybody's like, this is the best like VR game that was out there. Like it won a lot of VR awards. So I love the game, played it on Wii. I always thought that the Wii version was better because I think the game is clunky to control on consoles. Yes. I think the Wii version fixed that. So playing it in VR sounds like a match made in heaven, like a modern version of Resident Evil 4 with all the motion controls of the Wii ingrained. So like, I definitely want to do that.
Dev is definitely not doing that. Ever.
No, not at all. I'm not playing any Resident Evil games.
It might actually
it's not a genre for me.
I'm like kind of in the I'm thinking now that I've got the Quest 2, I'm like, do I do Resident Evil 4 in VR or do I do Resident Evil like 4 the remake?
Both?
Why not both?
Steam, it's expensive. I could do both.
You get them for like $12.
Yeah, I could wait. I'll wait. I'll get the definitive edition. Dude, yeah. I got the Itch.io bundle. I got like 4 humble bundles this past week. I'm just shoveling games into my library. Just by the shovel. Just throwing them in there, man. It's amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful life I've set for myself.
Like I said, it's a Scrooge McDuck money bin full of Steam games.
Is it like a gaming retirement for you, Donnie? Like this is it. This is the end game.
I told you I reached my final form. Like I'm here now. Like the Steam Deck has enabled it to happen. Like I think it's hilarious. I feel like there's a lot of hesitation for everybody to like believe it. And it's like, I'm just over here just like, okay.
I don't know why there's any hesitation. I mean, this is not the first time you've tried this.
From like Twitter folks and stuff, you know, like or Discord, like just reaction. They're like, okay, Donnie, we'll see. And it's like,
it's because
guys, I already bought Ghostwire.
To talk trash about like PC.
You already bought Ghostwire on Steam.
I don't want to do this.
Pre-Steam Deck, it all changed. Okay. Changed everything. I get to put the UV launcher.
So you got to download a driver and it breaks everything.
You saw Uplay Plus running on the Steam Deck. Like between that and Steam, that's all I need, man. I'm excited for Ragnarok to come out tomorrow. I told myself that I wouldn't play Ragnarok until I do Cyberpunk. So I think I got to put in some Cyberpunk hours because I really want to get into Ragnarok soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's my turn. I played Destiny 2 again. Jump back into it. I gave it 2 weeks, just because I was real stuck on Horizon, and then
I'm sure it's great.
The clan was like, "Hey,
are you sure?
We want to raid. We want to raid on the 19th." So I was like, "All right, well, if we're gonna do that, then I actually have to play the game and get raid."
I'm happy for them. I'm happy for all the Destiny fans out there. They get their little game.
It's so fucking good. Just everything about it. The gameplay, the story right now is just phenomenal. What they're doing in the world is just so good. And I'm not gonna sit here and bore you people with Destiny 2. You guys don't care, and most of our listeners really don't. So I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I'm having a blast, and that's all that really fucking matters.
It has good mechanics.
It's great.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dev. Delvin, did you see me comment in the strong style on the Discord?
No.
They announced Jericho's in another faction.
Oh yes, I saw.
Tony Khan just handing out factions like Oprah. Everybody gets a faction. Now. You get a faction, and you get a faction. Just factions for everyone.
He fired in the circle.
Did we get here?
Like this other,
it's the absurdity. Okay, Dev. Yeah. It's just absurd what AEW is doing. Every member of AEW is in 6 different factions.
Everybody has friends.
Oh my god.
And their friends have friends.
Well, what a culture.
On that note,
yeah.
Let's get to the news. Well, that didn't seem. Did you guys hear it?
Not at all. No. As I say, that looks important, but I didn't hear
a goddamn thing.
I blame Melon. I don't know what happened. It was working fine earlier when I tested it.
Try it again.
It was your birthday gift.
Try it again.
See if it works this time.
Nope.
That just flopped.
Fucking Melon.
That's how this podcast is going to go. Huh?
Okay. Yeah.
See what happens. You let Devin run the show.
Look here.
Happy birthday, Donnie.
It wants to be
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. It was awesome. I look forward to listening to it back on the podcast drops later.
Can we edit it in? God damn it. I can't believe that happened.
So ridiculous.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We planned something so nice. And just be good.
I mean, talking about AEW's factions is better than talking about whatever happened at that PlayStation show today.
That shit sucked.
It was so bad.
I like the Ninja Turtle thing. I'm like, oh, that's great. Ninja Turtles, that's awesome.
Devolver game looked cool.
That looked cool, yeah. That's a dev-ass game, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The developers making that game for dev. They're like, we got to get him out of Destiny.
Basically.
100%.
Pulling him out.
I can't believe this shit. We've played the new drop every week, and it never fucked up. The one time when it matters, just like fucking, what is it, Lucy moving the football from Charlie Brown?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
Damn. Well, Donnie, you start talking about the news, and I will go ahead and see if I can get this stupid thing to work.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even write the news. So I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Doesn't matter. You got it in front of you. Make it happen, news guy.
GTA announced next-gen pricing. GTA 5 for PS5 will be 75% off its first 3 months of launch, priced at $9.99. The standalone version of GTA Online for PS5 is completely free. After the first 3 months, the standalone game will cost $20. Over on Xbox, it's 50% off, priced at launch at $19.99. The Xbox versions of GTA Online will not be free. you have to buy those at $10. So essentially the discount isn't really a discount. It's that PlayStation 5 owners get GTA Online for free, and then the upgrade for the game is $10. You guys excited for GTA 5 upgrade? I've seen some comparisons on Reddit that were supposedly side by sides with PC. It looks a little bit better, I guess, than PC versions. I'm sure it's like unmodded PC versions. But what the blog told us about the upgrade, and what I would argue is very little upgrade happening.
Right.
I love GTA 5, and I'm not very excited at this at all. I'm pretty sure my modded version that I've been running on Steam for a year will look better.
Is this like the only game that went from the 360, PS3 to PS4 and Xbox One, and now current gen consoles? Like,
if you're not counting backwards compatibility, you're probably right.
That's kind of insane.
I'm kind of upset that they're even charging for this.
Oh, they're charging for it. Yeah.
Their blog posts blatantly stated that like we're bringing PC sliders to console. Like that's basically what they're doing. They're like, here's the PC version. And there were console warriors on Twitter that I saw, Destin, everybody retweeting. They were like, see, the console version looks better than PC. And it's like, just because Rockstar is holding that back to sell you this $10, like they're going to put up the PC version on the Rockstar store in probably like 3 months. Like that's what they do. The trilogy also is not like on Steam because they're holding it back because they want to charge you full price and they want to make you use the Rockstar launcher. That's just what they do. Yeah. Rockstar is not like super, they just bleed people, especially in PC. But so yeah, I think Dev and I, even before this announcement, we were sharing kind of as the blog went out, as the leaks went out, I was like, this is uneventful. This is not what I was hoping for at all. I wanted like real work done, like maybe some animation, some gameplay differences, because they've been talking about this upgrade for a year. Like when the PlayStation 5 announced, they were like GTA 5 next gen. I was like, oh wow, they're actually going to do something. They didn't. No. They sell 160 million copies of this damn game. They can't be bothered to like make it better.
Well, my expectation wasn't that high, so I didn't expect them to do anything.
I don't think that was a high expectation. That maybe they would be like, driving is better now. Was that
I literally didn't think. I apparently so, because I didn't even think that was going. I just thought it was like.
I don't think it's that high of an expectation. It's like
a new fresh coat of paint.
Like it seems like this is the bare minimum, and that they're charging for it is egregious. Sad. It's pathetic.
But I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
I know my game share guy really likes GTA, so I was like, it's $10.
It's a great game. I love the game.
Deal.
Yeah.
This is what I expected. It's gonna look better. It's gonna play better. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's 30 years old.
Play it on PC.
It's the same as a PC port. Like that's what they're gonna do. They're not going past a PC port at all with this game, and that's what I expected. So,
wow.
Yeah. There you go, Donnie. Sorry.
Yay.
Can't wait for GTA 6 in 10 years.
You've got so many bullet points for this state of play. Do you really want to read all of this?
We don't have to go through all of it. We can just highlight some of this shit. Like Exo Primal, which is basically, Dino Crisis of some
it's
sort.
Not.
They're dropping dinos out of the sky, and you're
that's not what Dino Crisis
exosuit
is.
trying to fight them.
That's not Dino
I'm just being silly. It's dinos, and it's a crisis. I
love basically there was like 4, not Game X announced at the State of Play today. Not Final Fantasy Tactics announced, not Dino Crisis announced, not all these things that people have been hoping for. They all released a bunch of games that are like kind of the same thing, but not over and over and over again.
Not gonna lie, this sucked.
I'm glad you said it.
Really,
it's not good. The games that we already know that are coming, like Ghostwire Tokyo and stuff like that, look cool. The Ninja Turtles collection, I think, looks awesome. The Trek, what is it? Yeah. Yomi looks
GMT
good.
Looks, it's fun. It's just classic ROMs, though.
Yeah.
I can't get too excited for that. I'm more excited about the new game coming than that happening. Trek to Yomi looks dope.
That looks dope.
As it always has. Like we've been, we've known about that one for a bit. I'm not into samurai stuff as much as Dev, but I would still play it because I play everything that's from Devolver. Coming to Game Pass.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, really. Cool. Yeah, so don't even have to play it on your PlayStation console. You just get on Game Pass.
That Final Fantasy game does not look good. What is it? Stranger to Paradise?
No, we don't.
I'm here for
we
chaos.
don't talk about that game.
I'm completely lost. They keep showing these like Final Fantasy-esque games. I feel like every state of play there's been one. I feel like there's like 7 or 8 of these out in the wild that I all just think are the same game. Like I see them and I'm like, oh, it's that other game. You know, like I keep getting
a
them
little bit of a
confused.
carbon copy
like
for sure.
Babylon's Fall and Forspoken and this thing and Final Fantasy. Like it's like all of this.
Babylon's Fall is like
leading together.
Let's just not.
Babylon's
go
Fall
there.
It's all kind of bleeding together.
Godfall but broken.
Godfall.
I gotta say, when Sony does right, they do right. But this wasn't fun.
That's so funny because I really most of this stuff I was like, this is pretty cool. Like I'm down for the Exo Primal game. I'm down for Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm definitely playing for Spoken.
I'm down for Ghostwire Tokyo as well.
The TMT Cowabunga collection is fucking awesome. Like that is awesome. Every Ninja Turtles game that is, worth getting. So like that was awesome. The Trek to Yomi was great. The Returnal update was good. Like this was great. There was some weird shit like the Giga Bash. Like who's playing?
What was so great about the Returnal thing?
They updated it.
It just looks awesome. Like the co-op part of it looks pretty cool if you want to actually play co-op, and it's more story stuff with the Ascension part, going through the tower.
You have no interest in it to begin with.
Die with your friends.
But then that's the case with anything. If you have no interest in it, then it's always going to be boring. So for me, this state of play was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. I found it very surprising on the last 2 games Square Enix kind of just puts out there on
Xbox Dead
on this state of play. Yeah, pretty much. No, the last 2 games, at least the second to last game, was kind of surprising to see. This Diofield Chronicle. It's a new IP, and it kind of looks like Triangle Strategy. It has that engine, that Triangle Strategy engine, but now it's on PlayStation, and I think it's gonna be. I don't know if that's exclusive or Valkyrie Elysium is exclusive. It's one or the other.
Yeah, when Valkyrie Elysium was announced, I was like, okay, now there's just got to be like a video game name generator.
Well, the thing with Valkyrie Elysium is actually coming from the Valkyrie series, Valkyrie Profile that came out in like the early 2000s. They're like, hey, we're going to just magically remake this. Oh, by the way, this is still going to be like an action RPG, like Final Fantasy 15. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how this one goes now.
John 32 says TMT collection heading to Switch. It's heading everywhere, right?
I think
so.
But I do think a lot of people look at ROMs and stuff like that and they want to play it on Switch or something portable.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Ninja Turtles is awesome. Tournament Fighters, I used to love that game.
Oh man, I love beat 'em ups. I'm gonna get it. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. There's like a leap for me, hard pressed to be like excited about just like arcade ROMs coming. It's like you could have bought those at any point in time with like that arcade machine. You could download them to your PC or your phone. Like it's not a not for wanting them. I think it's cool that it's going to be more convenient, and I'm sure they'll be cheap, be $20 or something like that, and you can play them. I don't mean to mean it. It's exciting. I'll get it.
You think it's gonna be $20?
But like when State of Play shows up, I expect more. Like I kind of want more from.
Well,
like,
I think they're just kind of following up with the other TMNT game too. It's like kind of marketing deal. It's like, hey, yeah, this new game's coming, but hey, look at all the old games. You can now play it on your console now.
I am more excited for the new game. I want to see the new game.
I'm excited for
Shredder's Revenge or whatever.
Also just a 20-minute little state of play. Like this wasn't supposed to be anything like super crazy. It's
and
like
they said big push from Japan partners. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it was a fine show.
Where was Silent Hill, Dev? Where's Resident Evil 4?
Well, yeah, where's Resident Evil 4?
Where's Dino Crisis Remake? Where's Metal Gear Solid Remake? Where are all these games?
Except for Metal Gear Solid, they can all kick rocks. Everything you just said, I don't ever want to see again. So I don't care.
That's a horrible thing to say.
It's coming.
Why would you say that?
I want new shit. I don't want more remasters. I don't want more remakes. Right. I want new stuff. It's new content. Like it's not playing the same damn game
before. Just new people. It's the same thing you've been doing for 9 years. You and your friends run down the thing, find the new dude, and you shoot it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it. It's okay. You guys don't play WoW. You don't play RPGs. You wouldn't get it. It's fine. I understand. I don't expect you to get it.
You play for 100 hours to get a new purple rifle.
Yes.
You're like, see, guys?
No.
Shoot the Lizard King or whatever she's called.
Listeners, I'm doing all of this just to get a rile out of Dev. Don't take this too seriously. The show was fine. It was fine.
I'm mad at Dev for fucking up the surprise.
Blame your guy for sending a video that is not compatible with Melon.
How is it not compatible with Melon?
I know the video works. I saw him talking.
It's an MOV file. MOV is not a format that's supported by Melon, so it has to be.
I haven't even ever heard of an MOV file.
It's a movie. Yeah,
I was
a Windows iMovie thing.
Mm-hmm. Not compatible with Melon.
No, it was a fine showing. There's a lot of games for I think a lot of people, not for me. I thought it was okay, just not my favorite like state of play. And I was hoping for a little bit more, even though it was 20 minutes. I was hoping for a little bit more. I really thought that there was a good chance we'd see Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm actually kind of a little surprised.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, because Capcom should be ready, and I imagine that's ready for this year.
They should be releasing this year, and a lot of rumors behind it.
I was hoping for some Spartacus news for all the talk that's been going on about it.
I don't understand how you would hope for any of what you guys just said when they said it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Well, dude, they showed 14 other things. What are you talking about?
Half that stuff we've already seen.
They could have just not talked about.
But if you're going to showcase
the Kaiju
Resident
Brawler
Evil,
and then
like if you're going to showcase the remake for that, like that's something that's a little bit bigger. You don't want to just condense that into 20 minutes with a bunch of other stuff from Japan.
I think you're giving too much time to like how fast you can show something. You could do a teaser.
Think about all the other
like
times when they've actually done a state of play. When they were showcasing a game, that's my point. Yeah. When they showcase a game, it's going to be for that game. Like that is the main.
But they don't even have to showcase it. They could just announce it, and it would be an exciting announcement. That's Resident Evil 4 remake is not something you need to deep dive in and have a whole thing when you show it. You literally just go.
Based on the internet remake and how much they want it, I kind of think they would want to do more for that.
They could just tune in later.
Happen. I almost hope it doesn't
it's going to happen
at this point.
You spiteful son of a bitch. It's going to happen.
It's
going to happen.
I hope this shit never happens. I hope Spartacus isn't real. I hope none of it happens.
Until Last of Us Remake comes to PC. And I'm just going to just rub it in. Just rub it in.
I don't care. I'm never playing Last of Us again.
We're going.
Ever. Last of Us 2, all day. Last of Us 1 can kick all the rocks.
Well, I would expect a Destiny fan to have such a terrible tasting game. It would make sense.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Just say this. I need some cheering up. Let me play Last of Us.
Yeah, because you are a sick, twisted individual.
He's like, oh man, I'm feeling nostalgic. Let's play Telltale: The Walking Dead again.
Damn right.
Let me just go rip my heart out my chest.
Okay. Anything else on the state of play?
No.
Anybody want to talk about?
I think we're good. No.
Yeah. Gundam Evolution.
No. Absolutely not.
We didn't mention the Forspoken was delayed. They're like, hey, Forspoken. It's like a day after they was like, we delayed it. So
yeah, they snuck that in. Fuck
right.
Did they stick it in? Didn't they announce it yesterday?
Yeah. Quick hitters. Texas Chainsaw Massacre game is coming. Maybe coming from the creators of the Friday the 13th game. That makes sense. Leave Texas Chainsaw alone. For the love of God, everybody, just leave it alone. Let's just nuke everything that exists in the Texas Chainsaw universe that isn't Tobe Hooper's original and call it a day.
Isn't it like a show or something that's out about it?
They keep trying to make fetch happen, and it's not going to happen. Like this has been 40 years in the making. They've been trying to make Texas Chainsaw outside of the original something, and it's never worked. So just stop. Leave it alone.
God.
Epic Games owns Bandcamp.
Have you ever heard of Bandcamp?
Bandcamp is like
I have. Yeah, I know what Bandcamp is.
Garage music service type of deal.
Yeah. You can make your music, put it on Bandcamp for people to buy.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
For Fortnite. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Xbox got a new dashboard update where for March you can pin games to quick resume, Xbox share button remapping, and there's a new audio wizard.
Why do you want to pin games to quick resume? I
think people
don't
want to make sure that their quick resume games stay there. I think it's a way of make sure you don't close out of them. I think. I don't know. I've never understood it either, to be quite honest with you. Gotham Knights got a release date for October 25th. That's exciting, right? There you go.
If it actually comes out at that time,
we got
That's true
something.
if it doesn't get delayed.
Yeah, I feel like it's been delayed enough to where this date should hold.
Or maybe delay a couple months.
I'm still confused between the two. There's Suicide Squad, and then this
Suicide
one.
Squad and Gotham Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gotham
this
Knights
one
is
the co-op game that doesn't.
Knights, yeah.
Both of them are co-op games, but you don't have to play
Mm-hmm.
co-op.
Yes, both of them.
But when developers
correct.
say that, I want to know, but can you literally really play it solo? Or are you going to be
Gotham
feeling
Knights
lacking?
Can really play solo.
Like the Division, you can play solo. You wouldn't want to, but you can.
Yeah.
Is it one of those? Or can you actually play it solo?
I think you can actually play solo.
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
live service-y.
I hope so. Because if it's not, this will be one I'll be using you guys as a litmus test. I'll be depending on you guys to let me know, because I'm not going to get it if it's like you want to play it with friends. I'm like, I'm not going to get it.
I'm definitely getting it because I love Batman. So
even though you can play with anybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to play.
So
Well, Haley's going to guilt me into playing with her, and then it's not going to work, and then she's going to be mad.
So it's going to be like Anthem. You're going to be out there just running around by yourself, being like, "This isn't fun."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Either Haley or my son's going to guilt me into playing it with them.
Right.
So that's going to end up.
I'm going to guilt you into it. Let's go. Come on. Let's play.
Damn it.
Hey, you should do that. Anything to get them off of Destiny. Like, you got to take that one for the team.
That's a good point.
I haven't played Destiny in months. All right.
Like 8 minutes.
I hate you all.
Advance Wars, the reboot, has been delayed in light of current events. This was very somewhat surprising, not because they did it. As I said last week, we talked about it. I wasn't thinking that this was out of the realm. I thought that I could see this happening. I was surprised to see Nintendo be so forthright with why they were doing it. That I didn't expect from them. Even though the entire world is boycotting Russia, right? So it's a very in vogue thing to do. And it's a good thing. I'm not saying that as a deterrent. I'm saying that for real. It's a good thing. Everybody's doing it. I support them doing it. It's still oddly a political stance that Nintendo is typically not known for. They just don't really dive into there at all. And so I was just a little surprised to see them even go that far. I just thought if they're going to delay it because they don't want it to be connected to what's going on in Ukraine, which it would have been, boy, would video game journalists have loved to talk about. I could only see the reviews, I think we all can see Jason Schreier be like, I sat down to play Advance Wars. I could only think of Putin advancing his troops. I could see the fucking headline.
You just wrote the headline for him.
You could see it. It's just begging to be said.
Yeah.
So even though I don't think this game is remotely close to that, these are cartoon characters, essentially like G.I. Joe tactics game. I was still surprised to see Nintendo admit that it's because of current events. I thought they would just be like, it needs more time and we'll delay it.
If they would have done that, they've already delayed it once, pretty far out from last year.
We got
so I feel like they were kind of we're going to have to say this, or if we're going to delay it, everyone's going to know, and everyone's just going to talk about it more. So let's just get it out.
But isn't Nintendo, I agree with you. I think those very good point to bring up. But isn't Nintendo the company that's everybody's going to know, and they're like, so let them know. We're still going to do what we do. They do that all the time, constantly. They do it all the time.
That's true.
They
don't care much about public reception.
I mean, just in general, they will announce a new program or they'll shut something down, and they know what people are going to say about it, and they don't care. They do it anyway, and they don't retract. They don't walk back. They just do. So I was just a little surprised to see them take that step. Proud of them.
I feel like it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, of course. Proud of them.
This is
good on you,
a
Nintendo.
Good move for them. Finally, waking up and realizing that it's bigger than Nintendo.
It's a little refreshing.
Has everyone played Advance Wars, the old one, or I know the mechanics of it?
I have.
Okay. Donnie knows.
I played a long time ago.
Yeah, it's just, even though it's cartoonish or whatever, Nintendo doesn't really get into this type of military action. Current events type of industry kind of
modern
themes. Yeah, modern. And so when you see these mechanics, you're going from one place to the next.
Yeah.
It's about the plot's about invading one's country.
Yep.
Yeah, that I can.
And it's about these bitter rivals, these cultures that don't get along with each other. Yeah, it is that. It is very much that. You're bombing buildings and stuff. You see it blow up. Like that is Advance Wars. You know, it's very different. It's a good point because when Nintendo does Warfare,
the game ever come out?
It's usually like with swords and arrows and lasers. Right. It's never like machine guns.
Yeah, it's not like soldiers
so does
capturing
it get shelved
a building
indefinitely.
Well, see, that is interesting because they did not give a date. They literally just indefinitely delayed it. This game can come out in 2023 or 2024 for all we know. It could just be put on the shelf.
Stealth
it's probably a good idea.
Stealth release.
They might. They may not market it. I imagine it won't drop until after this conflict is resolved.
Well,
that'd be my guess now.
Maybe.
Yeah. That would be my guess now, is that they will do it sometime after the conflict resolved, is however long that is. And as I said in our Discord, I got Kirby at the beginning of the month. I got Switch Sports at the end of the month. Like,
you're set.
It's fine. It's fine. Like, they don't need it in their calendar. Good on them for not, for taking the, I guess you can call it the economical hit. Like, I'm sure they're, year-to-date sales. Yeah, they're fine. I wouldn't expect this game to. I wouldn't expect this game to sell a whole lot to begin with, but still, I was another reason why I was interested that Nintendo was so forthright about this is that they actively associated this game with the war now. Because of them delaying it, they actively connected those dots. Whereas I thought maybe the Nintendo smarter move was just to delay it for no reason and let people forget about it. But even if this game comes out 3 years from now, reviewers will still talk about the Ukraine conflict.
Yeah.
It will now be
doesn't it make
story.
sense for Nintendo to connect those dots instead of letting everybody else connect the dots and making Nintendo look
I don't
like
know.
the asshat?
I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that question. I think I can make an argument for both.
And they delayed the original Advance Wars because of the 9/11.
9/11. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just history repeating itself kind of thing.
Here's the thing. As Kevin said earlier, like you mentioned Call of Duty and Battlefield, like wars stuff is not new to games, but it is new to Nintendo. This is like a company that very much they don't want anybody in any headline at all reading Nintendo, Ukraine, and Russia. Like, it's just bad search engine optimization. They don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Have they joined up with everybody saying we're not selling anything to Russia?
Okay. They closed the eShop down. And here's the funny thing. I listened to a podcast. I don't have my phone. I can't tell you about it. It's a news podcast. They drop like a big news story every day. It's very quick. It's like 30 minutes. And they've been covering a lot of the Russian news because that's dominating the news. And they talked about why all these companies are all like snowballing. Like, we're not accepting payments from Russia anymore. And it's really because their currency is so worthless that to accept and exchange money with them is losing money. So it actually is their benefit to close it down.
It's worth less than an American penny.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily because they don't want to. I'm sure for most it is. I don't mean to say that. I just bring it up because it was enlightening to learn that. They were like, we're losing money. If somebody buys a game on the eShop in rubles, Nintendo's losing money on the transaction.
Is losing money in like the next day. Like,
they're like,
crazy.
we can't take this money right now. Like 60 rubles is not worth jack like right now on the global scale. So they just won't even take the currency.
That's so unfortunate.
It is.
Oh,
it is.
God.
Could you imagine? I don't mean to. I'm having a good mood. I'm having drinks. It's my birthday. I'm feeling good, so I want to take us on a tangent. The thing that has been swirling around my head since this all started. Could you imagine? Thank God that like you've got to do some really effed up shit for the entire world to boycott you like this, for Switzerland to take a side. Dude,
Switzerland of all people.
America would fold in a heartbeat if this happened. If people shut off our iPhones and our Switches,
without question,
would riot in the streets. We
would have a fit.
Whatever
you think the insurrection was something,
right? They would pull him right out. They would be so mad. It is like the only thing I could think of. I'm like, man, could you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot?
I gotta say, they was on the news this morning talking to people about the gas prices.
Are there people mad about that? Yeah,
we're ready to write about that.
It was funny.
Like, look, I don't know what Russia's doing, but this extra 25 cents is this is too much.
The lady was like,
gas is about to hit $7 out here.
That's worth it.
It's ridiculous.
Worth it if it sticks it to Putin. It's worth it.
Yeah, people were
saying
that.
Down, grind through it. It'll be okay.
They were like, we don't like it.
Look, man.
But we don't like him either. So
I feel for you, Dev. You got to move from California. See, that's a California thing. That's not an America thing. Everybody else, the average is like $3.40.
It's like it's almost $5 here.
You think?
Any place I would go is going to be $5.
We just need to get an electrical car. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that helps.
There is that. There is that.
All right. Again, I started this, so I'll continue. I'll step up here. The F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle in the United States for 15 years in a row. I find, like, I have no empathy. Not for everybody, of course. I understand if you're out there, you know, you're working your 9 to 5, you've got a gas-saving car, and you're barely making it. I feel for you. I'm sorry. But the majority of people that are hitting the pumps can't afford an extra $1 worth of gas. Like, that's just true. Maybe you got to not buy a video game this month or not get Starbucks next week. I'm sorry about that.
Have you seen Texas? It's like
you can totally afford the gas. Like now, like I'm not speaking for California as a whole separate thing. I'm just saying this news headline, this bull rush on gas is too much. It's really like overshooting the people that drive Hummers and all the SUVs.
Right.
Like the reason that subcompacts are so cheap because nobody in America buys them. There is an army of gas efficient cars that nobody wants. they just want their giant vehicles that get 18 miles to the gallon. So
because they don't look cool.
I feel bad.
Two of my coworkers just bought F-150s, like a giant F-150 and something else.
Hey, and I have a Challenger.
All we have out here in Bakersfield.
I'm right there with them.
Bakersfield is muscle car, pickups, big old trucks, gas guzzling everything.
I have a Challenger.
All the oil in the world is out here. Like
that's why you don't hear me whining.
Is.
You don't hear me whining about gas prices. I know what I bought. I understand. Like I'm with it. I buy premium.
Yeah, I didn't buy that.
Yeah.
I have a Prius and I have a Scion. This I don't want to pay $6 for gas.
I was really happy I bought the Prius this past week. That's legit. I was like, man, what a time to buy a Prius.
I'm not going to even say what cars I have. It's bad. It's just gas guzzlers completely. F-150,
Ford, 97 Cutlass, don't you?
All of my family, they've all got like Durangos and Tahoes, you know, and it's like, don't whine to me about, you know, if my father-in-law says, don't whine to me about gas, dude. This gas is getting ridiculous at $4.50 a gallon. It's like, okay, you're fine.
I mean, when you're used to paying like $1, like I remember gas prices being like $1.09.
Well, and that's the other thing is that this gas thing was happening with or without the Ukraine conflict. I think that's being lost. Mm-hmm. Everybody is now using Putin and the headline, and because it is current events, they're using that as the scapegoat. But this was happening. This has been, if you don't pay attention to the news,
I don't
blame this has been
Putin
foretold for 3 or 4 months now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's been a thing. Like I'm not even looking at his crap causing this. Like gas has just been creeping up constantly. It hasn't stopped, and I'm sick and tired of it. Like
it's one part inflation, 2 part everybody going back to work and everybody driving it.
Mm-hmm.
Demand skyrocketed.
Oh, let's go ahead
and
up this gas prices.
Plus inflation. So what we need is supply to catch up to demand. Prices will come back down.
We need them to let us work from home.
And just keep the supply down and just go away.
Driving
How about that?
Just go away. Garrett's all like,
go away.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just cut them off.
We need to rip the Band-Aid off. We do.
Stop all this.
I have very strong
rid of all
beliefs.
These fossil fuels. All right. Everybody gets a Tesla.
Are people, this is real talk. Are people in California, like, is that actually like a thing that people are discussing? Are they like, maybe let's let people work from home until gas prices come back down a little?
It depends. It has nothing to do with
It depends on the job. It really
depends on the job. It depends on where you live too. Dude,
because that'd be a really nice
17 different states. California is literally like several different states in one. Yeah. So like out here in Bakersfield, they're like, screw you. Go to work. We're going to the office. We're gonna get in our giant trucks. Let's go to work. We're getting in our giant trucks.
Better carpool.
The carpool, absolutely not. Everybody on the road. Let's go. That is Bakersfield. Yeah. LA, very different. LA is like, no, we don't need to do all this. Our traffic is horrible as it is.
You better not drive your gas guzzler through here.
Don't drive that. Unless you
I imagine they stop you.
Tesla.
They stop you at the line. They're like, whoa, nah, son.
Yeah. Like carpool is a big thing. Like when I was working for like NBC, like they were always actively pushing for carpools, and there were lots of electric vehicles, lots of Teslas, like all of that. Like that was a big
I read that they have a tax
there
for people that have gas combustion engines
I don't know
in
about that.
LA County. Like it's for passenger vehicles that don't get a certain amount of fuel economy. But it doesn't include trucks and SUVs, but they want it to.
Look,
they just haven't got it passed yet.
I don't even want to talk about how much it costs to register cars in California and all the extra nonsense we have to put up with. It's just my boy who came from Ohio. He went to register his car when they told him the price. He was like, whoa, I'm just registering one car. This isn't, he thought that they were thinking he was registering multiple cars because it was so expensive. I think in Texas, it's like $50 to register your car.
Yeah.
Right. Like $50.
My Prius was like $46.
Yeah, no, you're looking at hundreds of dollars to register anything.
At least
my renewals, I just paid my renewals because my birthday. My renewals were $19 a piece.
Yeah, my renewal for my Scion is like $130. My Prius is $200 and something, and
we got to get you out of Cali. You're talking about we make so much fun in Canada. We need to switch on this.
Yeah. That sounds terrible.
Good. I love it here.
They don't love you there.
Yeah, I do actually. I truly do love it in Cali.
Why?
You seem to have a lot of gripes, though. You seem to bring a lot of things to the table.
I'm mad about the $6 gas. Everything else
costs
more.
Again, your gas is way more than most of the country.
I understand that, and I hate it. All right, but everything else about this place, I love. But
it's worth it.
I love my time zone. Oh, it's worth it. It's absolutely.
So that's what they're capitalizing on. That's why they can have their taxes that jack up your rates. All those people in California, they're like,
I don't know any better
either.
Oh, there's lots of people leaving. That's the other thing. All of my, I have a coworker who's moving to Texas now. He's moving to Dallas, but he's also
talk about going from one thing to worse.
It's been like that for a while though.
I live in Texas. That's where I live. Bakersfield is Texas West. It's good old boys. It's pickups. It's guns. It's all of that. It's crazy.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I miss LA
in California.
In most respects. Yeah.
Anyway,
great tangent.
Yeah,
it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
So Dead Space is getting a live stream this Friday. Please be excited.
That's
a new
cool.
Dead Space remake. It's cool. Dying Light got a new patch for PS5 and PS4 Pro, with Xbox coming soon, adding a performance mode. This is the original Dying Light, not Dying Light 2. Dying Light. Performance mode, full HD, 60 frames, a balanced quality HD mode, possibly 60 frames, probably not. Knowing their track record, probably not. Thank you. And resolution mode, 4K 30, which is
nice.
Garbo.
Well,
nice.
Oh yeah, Mr. PC Masterface over here. Yeah.
60 or nope now.
Dying Light deserves better. You shouldn't play Dying Light like that. 60 or nothing. Okay, 60 or nothing.
You got a performance mode
every game. Every game should be 60 or nothing.
Joining Nintendo, Sony and Bungie are also suspending business in Russia. Remember, it's not necessarily about making a stand as much as it's about not taking that money.
Indeed.
Money's no good here.
Can't take those rubles.
Truly, your money is no good here.
Oh my God.
Because they would have to adjust all. They would have to get their profit that they're taking. They would have to adjust all their prices for the ruble,
constantly.
But so a game. Let's say I have no idea what the ruble is in America. But let's just call it 1-to-1 for comparison's sake. So if a game costs $60, that right now on the value of the ruble, it would be $360.
Probably more than that.
It's basically Confederacy money for anybody that remembers those Civil War stories of all those money that went out and basically was worthless in 2 days.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happening. So the economy is just shot. I'm very impressed actually with how much has been done to put pressure on a country without sending a troop anywhere.
Yeah,
in the history of global conflict, this is a monumentous moment. I think in the history books we'll be talking about this for ages to come. Think about that.
So Donnie, here's how far it dropped. It was initially 1 ruble equals $0.013. Now it's down to 0.007. It is cut in half.
Yes.
Wow.
50%.
Yeah. So Whenever you're out there like, yay, my favorite company is stopping the Russia thing. That's cool. I'm not telling you not to do that. That's cool. Just remember the why they're doing it too. It's good PR and it's good business.
Yes.
Damn.
So double whammy.
Double whammy. Mm-hmm. It's still good. I applaud them for doing it. Good on you guys. Good PlayStation, Bungie, Nintendo. Good on you guys.
Yeah.
That's it, Dev.
That's it. Well, let's get to these questions.
Whoa, hold on. How can you do the news section without me? Without Sean Ross Sapp? How? Well, also, how can you do it without Donnie Reese? It's his birthday. On his birthday. A special day. Happy birthday, Donnie. I love what you guys are doing at Play Some Video Games. Your friends care about you an awful lot. Your viewers care about you an awful lot. Putting smiles on faces, they say. You know what I mean? But I hope you have a great birthday. You deserve the best. And keep on, keep creating content, keep being a good person, keep doing all the things that make you you. You got people that care about you an awful lot. Celebrate, my friend.
Thank you, Sean Ross Sapp. Greetings, Kooplings. Too sweet.
I didn't hear shit.
Thank you, guys. I heard it. I heard
it too.
It was awesome.
I heard, yeah.
Notice the car.
Gotta stop using those .mov files. They just gotta stop doing that.
You gotta convert them. Convert everything.
I did
before.
I did.
Nice.
All right, question time. So first question comes in from @TPR. He says, adult Ellie and Aloy are getting in a fight in a public boxing match. Who are you taking? Delvin, you're not allowed to even answer this question.
I thought this was Abby.
No, it's Aloy.
Aloy.
That's
Aloy.
weird.
It's always Aloy.
Okay, well, yeah, it's Ellie.
Yeah, it's Ellie. I mean, Aloy don't fight with her hands. She's always got
no, she doesn't.
A staff, so she ain't never punched nobody in her life. Ellie is grimy. She's gonna knock her out.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Even when I thought it was Abby, I was gonna say like there's a level of brutality that you get from Ellie that you don't get from most characters. You know, like there's like a step over the line. Like it's easy to best somebody in a fight. It's another thing to go that extra. Ellie will go that extra.
Well,
go tear someone apart.
Yeah.
Abby at the end of The Last of Us 3 looked like a junkie, so Ellie should clean the knockout. It was that
spoilers.
Right.
Come on.
I'm joking.
Jesus. If it would have been Ellie and Abby, I would have taken Abby.
Of course she would have.
Me
Abby,
too.
she looked like she's smoking rocks. Nah.
I'm sorry, she bit her finger off still. She was gully then too. I don't care.
Damn.
She was gully. All right.
Lord of the Rings parallels are driving me nuts.
Yes, my precious.
My precious ring.
So yeah, Ellie is gonna knock Aloy out. Just plain and simple. It's not even a contest. Next question from Hopper2400. He says, do you think Overwatch 2 has any shot of living up to the original? If it ever comes out, that is.
No.
That's a great question, actually.
I don't think so.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think because they've announced it at some point, and I think the current state that Overwatch is in now, I think just demands that a sequel get released. But is it going to be what we think it was when it was announced? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think they can get the magic they had with the first game. The first game was something special.
Oh, I think they can. I've talked about this with Kyle, who's the most Overwatch person I know. See, I think the misstep was they tried to do like this weird Destiny thing. They were like, we're going to have Overwatch 2, but all the Overwatch 1 players can still play it, but we're going to do like this campaign thing. See, I think that's all good. If it were me, I don't know what they're going to do, obviously. But if for me, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot out of the gate trying to do this. You make an Overwatch 2, a legit sequel, and you resell it and you reinvigorate the people that love the game. You give them a good reason to buy the sequel and not try to be Destiny. Because I don't think that works for everyone.
I don't think it was even trying to be Destiny, to be honest with you, because they were.
I just meant that. I just meant that in like kind of having like this ongoing platform where you're constantly supporting everything. I think you just go back to the drawing board and you just make Overwatch 2.
Yeah. Destiny cut off D1 when it went to 2.
I know.
The same thing.
You know what I mean?
Follow suit.
You know what I mean with
follow suit
10 expansions since then.
Yeah, they need to cut the Band-Aid. If you're gonna add a 2, it needs to be a new game.
I just don't know when this is gonna happen though. They got Diablo 4 in the pipeline right now,
do they?
They do. And there's a lot
is that coming ever? No.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's gonna come before Overwatch 2.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if either one of them see the light of day anytime soon.
I was thinking Diablo.
Microsoft wing now, so
I think Diablo might be next year.
Yeah, I can see Diablo being pretty soon.
I think Diablo could come out. It might be like their last big push game before Microsoft takes over.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Diablo will come out before Microsoft takes control?
I don't.
I think Diablo's gonna be what it is before Microsoft ever.
I think Diablo already is what it is. Like they've been working on it for a while now. But I wouldn't be surprised if that game releases before Microsoft takes control. I don't know that it will, but I wouldn't be surprised.
When does Microsoft take control? In a year?
Yeah, it'd be like this time next year.
Yeah,
possibly.
I wouldn't be shocked if Diablo is out like next spring, or is at least announced for release by the time Microsoft takes over. Maybe it's next fall, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was announced before they take over either.
I've got zero faith. I'd be surprised to see it. Period.
Hey, betting on track record, like you've got that's the winning hand most of the time in video games,
especially with Blizzard.
But you're basically the house. If you're betting on a delay or never coming out, like that's the house bet. That's the best odds.
I have no faith in Activision Blizzard at all. Period. At this point, once Microsoft fully takes over, then I'll believe again. But right now, I've got no faith in them.
Man, I think it's such a Herculean effort to just manage Activision and Blizzard. I think it'll take like a year just to kind of get things going again.
Get like recalibrated.
Like it's so many employees. Like it's so much different than Bethesda. Like it's not even close. And it's crazy because Bethesda has all these studios and everything, but it's not the same. There's just so many more people. Call of Duty is its own monster. You know, it's a whole different thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Winter Gamer says, what is one thing from your childhood that you would love to go back to, but won't, so that you don't spoil the memory?
I don't think I have one.
What do you mean by? I'm trying to think what you mean by that.
So
like a moment.
You have your favorite childhood memory that you would love to relive, but you don't want to go back to it because then you might spoil it by changing it or knowing this.
Like your nostalgia makes it better than what it actually might be.
I'm not too sure.
It would have to be an event, like maybe.
Oh, that's a good call.
I want to say WrestleMania, my first WrestleMania I ever watched. Was that maybe 3? Something like that. Or like, which one was the one where Hogan slammed Andre?
I think it was 3. God, you were so old.
Yes.
When they show that shit, they're like, back in the 80s. I was long ago.
I want to say I was like 7 years old when I saw that because my uncle had it on like VHS or some shit like that.
I even remember that day to you. Wow.
Yeah, it was like a thing. That's kind of like when I first fell in love with wrestling. So that moment, if I can get back to it without remembering like everything I know about Hulk Hogan
March 29th, 1987, 19 days after I was born. You're remembering a thing when I was 19 days old.
I was 7 years old. Yes, I remember.
19 days old.
Yes. That is.
I was 5, about to be 6.
I was negative. I have to do the math. 7.
I think the point of an event, though, you jogged my memory some. I went to a Harlem Globetrotters game when I was like 12, and I thought it was the fucking coolest thing in the world. And I'm pretty sure if I went to one today, I wouldn't think that.
I went to one when I was a kid. I was probably the same age, 12.
Yeah,
and I didn't think it was the coolest thing I've ever
seen.
Man,
I got an autographed ball. They did that trick where they threw the ball at me, but it was on the string, like everything. I got the whole thing. I
was ruined because I went to NBA games before going to the Hall of Fame.
So did I, but when I got Cavs tickets, the Cavs sucked.
That makes sense now.
I mean, the Globetrotters, man, the tricks and the ball stuff was
right.
Like,
it's super fun.
I don't know.
I
Remember
fun
about Delvin. You're not a basketball head. That's what it is. You don't.
No.
You don't
I
really
wonder
There's
if
a big difference
I've
going to
always
the basketball watching Shaq dunk the ball and break backboards in '92 than watching the Hall of Globetrotters.
When they set up like 360 reverse jams.
Yeah, it's
And the Senators are just like a bunch of white dudes that can't ball. Like, they just get blown out of the way.
The Washington Generals.
Generals, thank you.
Yeah, but no, Delvin, you're wrong there. You're wrong.
Once you watch real basketball, the Miami Heat and Orlando Magic and players like that, you're like, nah, I don't need to see this. Jordan was playing in '92. What am I watching the Globetrotters for?
When they're spinning
it's
the ball,
totally different
stuff,
vibe.
though,
That's like and one type stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's a different vibe completely. Like you're tripping.
No,
see, Jack loves like basketball, and I've thought about taking him. I would not take him because I don't want to ruin my experience. But that is one thing. When you said an event, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. Is like, I wonder if I would think it's as cool as I did. I would hate to go see it and then come away like Delvin, talking about how it wasn't as cool, because my memory of it was awesome.
you know what I think?
The only thing that I can think of would be Star Wars.
Like original Star Wars.
Watching the original Star Wars when the moment happens with Vader and Luke. That's cool. Great. I look back at my mom like, what? It's amazing. It's amazing.
See, and I never had that moment because everybody did the whole Luke, I am your father thing before I ever even watched this.
Yeah, you weren't even born when Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Like any of them.
Yeah.
Like the first three, you weren't even around.
My first Star Wars movie experience was The Phantom Menace.
I was going to say,
that's sorry to hear that.
See?
That's the first one you were around for.
I'm so
y'all
sorry,
wonder why I'm not like as into Star Wars as the rest of y'all. Like, I think y'all are a bunch of dorks.
Hey, I thought Darth Maul was cool as shit.
Like it is not as
Darth
cool
Maul
as y'all
was
think
cool.
it is.
But
that is
movie
true. Yeah,
sucked.
Darth Maul was cool.
Empire came out like
as a
in
kid,
86.
it was awesome.
Empire came out in like 80.
No, Empire was like
No. It's 80.
I was -7.
It's 80. It came out in 1980, sir.
No, I mean Return of the Jedi was 86. Like 86, something like that. Empire was like 80. It was 80? I thought it was 84.
80.
Like
80.
Because Star Wars was 78 before I was born.
Yeah, it was 78.
Yep.
It was like late 70s.
So all these Star Wars movies was legit before Donnie was even born.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
him
Jedi was 83.
Yeah, wow. I was 3 years old when I went to go see Jedi.
Yeah, and that's not lost to me. I've always thought that's why a big reason why I've never been that into Star Wars.
I mean, do you really even like sci-fi like that though? I feel like
I do sometimes, but it's usually like the cyberpunky kind of sci-fi. You know, it's more stuff like that.
Like Blade Runner.
You know, like, dude, I love The Matrix. So like Blade Runner, Dune.
Blade Runner.
You know, like, yeah, I like sci-fi stuff. It's just not, alien sci-fi stuff.
Like space.
Especially outside of like horror.
It's
especially
space.
But dude, I love Interstellar. I absolutely adore that movie. I've
Great
watched the
movie.
movie like
That's a
30
great
times.
one.
Interstellar, I feel like, is less space and more like just
What?
Interstellar so good.
Oh
The
damn!
whole movie's in space.
No. I know that it's in space, but it's not
opposite of
necessarily
less space.
about space. Like when I think about like Star Wars and I think about space that way, that's not how I think about Interstellar.
And also like Arrival. I love that movie.
Right
too.
was good.
Yeah.
I've
So
never seen that.
I think maybe it's just your Jedi stuff. I'm just not that into.
Maybe.
Valid.
SeaWorld.
There's not enough
That's
good look. I'll say it one last time. There's just not enough good Sith movies, like good Sith scenes. That's the problem. You've got 9 movies that all talk about how like their sinister empire is going to kill everybody, and they always lose, like constantly by this rogue of,
The show does
nobodies that are piecemealing shit together.
Yeah, the show does a much better job.
The shows do a better job at that, showing the Sith killing people and things
The
like
Sith could be like an actual strong heel, and I think I'd be more into it.
that. Like a Chris Jericho. Good hero.
I got nothing for that. You have a memory, Garrett?
Probably one is in 2015. It was like my first kind of convention that I went to, like gaming convention, and it was actually set in my hometown of Frisco, Texas. And I was a huge Kind of Funny person, like fan back then, and that was like the first time I saw them, and I was just, I mean, I'm still nerdy, but I was like,
were you taken in by their aura?
Yeah, I was one of those like, I'm so nervous. Like I never like, met these people before, but I've listened to them and watched them like all the time. It was a pretty good memory.
That's great.
For sure. Yeah. I wouldn't like that convention was rather small, but I'm glad it's there because like I get to have it was just like a lot of fun in general because I met other people too there.
But do you think revisiting that now would change that?
I don't want to revisit it. Yeah.
I think
just because. What do you mean?
I thought that was the question.
That was the question.
Like, the question. Like,
sorry,
I wouldn't. I mean, I just wouldn't spoil it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, exactly. Like at that mindset, I think that was probably the best time. Like if I go back now, I would definitely spoil it. Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah,
Did I answer this question correctly? It was too complicated for me. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. I think it's a cool memory.
Yeah.
We were all like, Devin and I were super excited when we got to record with Colin. Super excited.
It's fucking awesome.
I don't even listen to Colin anymore. Like, to talk about how
Yeah,
things have changed years later. I don't listen to Colin anymore. But at the time, I was very excited to record with him.
Understandable.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. All right. Next question from Brolin. He says, who is the best and why? Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck, Darkwing Duck, Daffy Duck, Howard the Duck, or Launchpad McQuack?
Oh, this is
I already have my answer.
Amazing question.
This is the easy answer for me, by the way.
It's the best question ever.
Sorry.
My answer is Daffy. Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Delvin?
Darkwing Duck, without question.
Damn Skippy. Damn straight as Darkwing Duck.
Old ass mother.
Suck gas, evil doer.
Time out. How are you going to call us old and you pick Daffy?
That's
Daffy's the oldest one.
Touche.
From like the 20s.
But he's still current and modern, I guess, is the point I was trying to make.
Is he?
Yeah,
Darkwing Duck was just a DuckTales TV show. It was like a year ago.
Yeah.
They're talking about rebooting Darkwing Duck.
Only Delvin knows that. Tab, you didn't watch
Of
that.
course.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I fucking love DuckTales.
The DuckTales reboot was really good.
The reboot was awesome.
It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's really good.
Yeah. Darkwing Duck for life, son.
Yes.
Do you have an answer?
Darkwing Duck as well. Yeah. Darkwing Duck.
There we go.
He has the
There it
coolest
is.
design. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like,
when there's trouble, you call DW.
Only one of these dudes have suited up to play with Michael Jordan.
Who gives a shit?
I do. I've always
Nonsense.
loved Daffy Duck. You talk about shenanigans. You talk about being a pain in the ass, like a smart ass.
Dude,
Daffy Duck is
Duck
legit.
just gets his ass kicked by bugs all the time. Like
It's okay.
Like I cannot.
But he's hilarious. But he's the color.
Nah, see, I think what it is
he's
it's
the
fact
funny
that,
one.
Like he's the black one, and he's getting his ass kicked by the white guy. So for me, it takes.
Why do you gotta bring race to fucking Looney Tunes?
That's
damn.
what we see.
Can anything
That's
exist
what
without
we
racism?
see.
Jesus.
I will say this: the Looney Tunes show, Daffy Duck is phenomenal in that show.
He's hilarious. He's the funny one. He's the
He's
color.
he's
the
hilarious
pop.
in that show.
He stirs the drink. Bugs isn't funny on his own. He's funny because of Daffy. Daffy's He's the star.
Now Plucky,
you're slowly convinced me, Donnie.
Plucky's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I like Plucky.
Daffy
I like
Duck
Plucky.
is fucking
Daffy
hilarious.
Can kick rocks.
I feel
Bugs
like you
can
guys
kick
need to
rocks.
watch some Looney Tunes again. Like
Looney
Daffy
Tunes
Duck
show is
is
great.
fucking hilarious.
I watch
Daffy
so
in
much
Space
Looney
Jam
Tunes.
is hilarious.
He's the step and fetch it.
He's the one that does the secret stuff.
He's the step and fetch it.
Michael, you gotta get it. Like what? Come on, man.
Can't get behind it. Can't get behind it. Darkwing all day.
Darkwing's the man.
You're hogging it.
Sorry, bro. All right, this one from Yarden. He says, for Donnie, can you believe you're buying GTA 5 again next week? This game will never die. And he says, for everyone, not to step on Delvin's toes, but who is your favorite Batman?
John 32 also says 100% Darkwing. So I'm just way in the minority here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Jordan
Apparently
said
me
that-
and Daffy are both in minority.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus.
Y'all done said that because I had a poll because somebody came on my podcast who hated the Batman movie, the new one. So
Really?
I had a poll up. Yeah, they
I've only heard great things about it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I thought it's
I
great.
heard some people didn't like it. It's like very polar opinions about this movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Divisive.
Yeah.
It's very
cool.
dark.
Very divisive.
Literally, like visually and like physically. It's a very
best
dark
Batman
movie.
is Keaton.
That's who won the poll, by the way.
Yeah, best Batman is Keaton.
100%, hands down.
It's really not close. Christian Bale would be my runner-up, but it's really not close. And Christian Bale's Batman, I think, gets a boost because Christian Bale had the benefit of being in he had the benefit of being in like such great Batman movies. I think it lifts his like it lifts his role. But I
mean,
Keaton
it's a low
is best
bar.
Batman.
It's a low.
Kind of is.
Clooney.
George Clooney was
Val
awful.
Kilmer.
Batman.
Kilmer? I mean,
Batman killed Val Kilmer's career. Just ruined him. Boy, he went off the deep end after that. You guys know, because we've argued about this for many years, I always thought Batfleck would be good, and I do think he was a good Batman. I think he was a better Bruce Wayne than Batman, but I think he's somewhat underrated, and I think it's, unlike Christian Bale, it's like the opposite. He's hurt more because his Batman movie sucked. If he was in The Dark Knight, people would think Batfleck was fucking awesome, because he's a pretty good Bruce Wayne. But yeah, Keaton is best Batman. It's really not close.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. He said the best Batman, period, correct? There's no caveat to this, like not live action Batman or anything like that. Because the best Batman is Kevin Conroy.
He said best Batman.
Kevin Conroy is the best Batman without doubt.
Kevin Conroy, yeah.
Batman animated
even
series,
over Keaton.
Even over Keaton, yes.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, when you think about Batman, you think about Kevin Conroy's voice. Like
Maybe
he is Batman.
He's Batman.
He is Batman. Like
Adam West was Batman. Michael Keaton was Batman. There's a lot of people who have been Batman.
I like Kevin Conroy.
This is just you guys just
because Kevin Conroy is in so much Batman.
I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I like the TV show as much as you guys do. But you guys, I don't know, like you skew so hard towards comics and TV shows that I have a hard time relating.
It's a comic. Batman is a comic book character. How do you skew?
No.
It's a comic.
Okay.
When people think of the voice of Batman, they think of Kevin Conroy.
I don't. I think of Michael Keaton. When you say Batman, the first thing pictures in my mind is Michael Keaton. I just don't agree with you.
First one for me is Christian Bale, and I guess that's just my age group or something.
Yes.
I think that's
definitely your age group.
Those movies were incredible. Like none of the Christopher Nolan movies, the trilogies were incredible. Incredible movies.
Swear to me.
Great writing, great villains, beautiful production.
It was kind of funny.
These aren't hockey pads.
Great cast.
He was great.
Then you look at Christian Bale in other actor roles. He's like, oh, that's actually him. Okay, that's very surreal.
Yeah, I guess when I think of Batman, I don't think of a person like an actor or anything. I just think of the cartoon character.
See, that's the thing that you picture the character. I also picture the character. The character is Michael Keaton. It's the same thing.
It's a damn shame. You're missing out.
I'm not missing out. I watched
Conroy,
sir. I watched them. I was there too. I watched them.
Keaton's a great Batman.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't like bow at the altar of all things like animated.
Do you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Now we're talking. See, now we're talking. Jack Nicholson. God, those movies were great.
Jack is the best Joker for me.
Those movies were fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ugh. Christian Bale.
Prince.
Yeah.
See?
The Bat Dance.
Dude. Vicky Vale.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't care about her. She's kick rocks. She's
Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz. Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz. That's like the only reason I actually want to see this new Batman movie is for Zoe. I could care less about the rest of it.
Yeah.
When is it coming in streaming? Because I'm definitely not going to no theater. Not for this trash.
April 14th, I think he said. HBO Max is getting it.
Yeah, I'm going to theaters next week for my birthday. I'm a little, I don't know, hesitant.
For the first time in a while?
I'm going to see X.
Who?
X.
Like Malcolm X?
What the hell is that?
No, not like Malcolm X.
That's the only X I know. That's the only X I know.
X is a new horror movie from Ty West. It is about it's who is in it? Kid Cudi's in it.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Let me look up this. You said X?
Yeah, it's just X. The letter X is the name of the movie. And when it was announced, I had no less than 15 people paying me. They were like, Donnie, you got to see this new horror movie trailer. Apparently, I have a type for horror movies. And those 15 people are correct because this movie looks right down my alley.
Oh,
I was like, this looks
cool.
amazing. I can't wait to go see it. So my wife bought us tickets for opening night. So I'm going to go see that next week. I'm a little hesitant to get back into the theater, but I mean, at this point, our numbers are so low. We did all the vaccinations. Gotta get back out there at some point, right? So we're going to go to the movies and we're going to go see it. I was, everybody asked me like, hey, you going to go see Batman? No, I'm not going to go sit in the theater for 4 hours. I'd rather watch Batman at home. That's a long time to just be there.
Yeah, Batman is 3 hours. Like legit 3 hours.
Dude, my wife chews through like a large popcorn in like 20 minutes. You have any idea how long 4 hours would cost me in a movie theater? That's like
you don't go to AMC?
It's 3.
You get free
it's like
refills.
it's like 3 in like 20 minutes or something. It's a little over.
No,
3.
it's like
I'm exaggerating.
2 hours 56 minutes. It's 3 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just under 3 hours.
It's a long damn time.
Yeah.
Still,
it is. It's long. It feels long.
It's a long damn time.
To me, that's nothing. That's light work.
Of course.
Like,
just I can't ever say anything.
It's light work, son.
I can't say anything and have Devin go, yes, Donnie, I agree with you.
No, of course not. Look, you did me dirty with Destiny, so you're gonna get all the shit on the back.
Hey, that's never gonna end. That's just
and
me and you.
Neither is me giving you a hard time for everything
till the end.
Pretty much. Yeah, it is what it is. I knew what I signed up for.
Yeah.
All right. Last questions from Llama Lavender. It says, have y'all played the Wild Arms series? They're not as popular as the Final Fantasy series, but I love those games so much.
What? This is
I remember Wild Arms.
I played the first one. I love the first one. The first one's great.
Yeah.
First one is great. Yes.
On PS1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. PlayStation 1.
Really good.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, yeah. Really good.
Yep.
I think it had 4 discs or something like that.
Yeah, it had multiple discs for sure.
Several discs, yeah.
I remember that game because it had like these anime type cutscenes that were super cool that they played in the game and stuff like that, which was rare for a PlayStation game to have. It wasn't like Final Fantasy had the like CG. This was like a legit anime cutscene in the game. I used to like that game a lot. I played a heck of a lot of that game, and I want to say it had multiple branching paths in it too.
I feel like Seth
sure
liked it too.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth was also a big fan of this game.
All of them was really good. Yeah. Did they remake that?
No, they didn't.
I don't think so, but I feel like there's a lot of them.
They brought it up and like poured it over to like the PlayStation Store, like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 Classics. It's on Vita as well with the PlayStation 1 Classic. So it's accessible in a lot of different areas. But yeah, Wild Arms 1's pretty good, and there's 2, 3, and 4 or something like that. Haven't played the other ones. Heard Wild Arms 3 is
good.
I heard it's not that great.
5.
It went to 5. Wow.
Yeah, last one came out in December of 2006.
Wow.
On PS2.
Yeah. I love the first one. The rest of them I didn't play, but I remember playing the first one fondly.
OG PS1. That's a good time.
I'm watching the Space Jam secret stuff scene where Bugs writes down the bottle and passes around, and Daffy's like, this goes against everything I believe in.
Did you watch the one with LeBron James?
Hell no.
You should have watched.
Talk about, you know what?
Loved that.
Talk about an answer to the question. What is something you don't want to go back to for fear that would ruin it? I don't want to watch LeBron James versus Space Jam.
There is one really funny.
I love the original version of Space Jam, and I just want that version of Space Jam. I don't need another one. I don't want another one. I'm from Cleveland. I love LeBron, but that's enough.
You should be obligated to watch
that.
Stop it,
LeBron. Absolutely not.
You should be obligated. You should
absolutely not.
Yes.
Yeah, my son really liked it. It was fine. I don't even care that much for
my son also liked
the first Space Jam. I was like, it's cool.
It was one really funny joke that I audibly laughed in the second one. I don't want to say what it is, but
why is Don Cheadle a computer program, and like why is Don Cheadle the computer program just Don Cheadle? He's still just Don Cheadle. It's
because Don Cheadle's awesome.
Like, Don Cheadle doesn't need to be anybody but Don Cheadle. Like that's just
Okay.
Even when he's War Machine, he's just Don Cheadle.
He's Don Cheadle. Really.
I'm glad we got out of the Wild Arms, whatever. Wild Turkey, whatever we're talking about.
That's some good liquor.
That's all I could bring to that conversation. I don't know what that game is. Never heard of it. Never played it.
You never heard of Wild Arms?
Nope.
Wow. That's surprising.
He didn't play PS1.
I did. I had a PS1. Definitely did. Listen to my CDs.
But you weren't into
Remember the
RPGs
UI?
or anything like that.
There it is. There it is.
Guy. Come on. That's what the
Xenoblade
PS1
Chronicles
was.
1. That was your
machine.
that was
I
your
played
entry, right?
Madden and Game Breaker and NBA, and that's the stuff I played on PS1.
Those
and
are
Spyro.
played
Spyro the Dragon. Not playing none of that stuff.
That's how I feel about what you just said. I'm not playing none of that mess.
That's not
Get
true.
Spyro out of here.
You like a lot of that.
I didn't play Spyro.
Okay, I played Metal Gear Solid.
I didn't play Game.
I played Metal Gear Solid. I played that like multiple times.
You damn well better had.
See, there's plenty of
That's your
games.
saving grace. That's your saving grace.
It's a great console, the PlayStation.
Yes, it was. Wild Arms was also amazing. It's a great game.
No, that's not one of them.
Yeah, it is.
Classic. It's a classic. That's why I kept getting ported over. It's on PS1 Classics. It's on the Vita. It's great.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
there you go.
That's gonna do it for this episode of PSVG. We hope you guys had fun. Feel free to tell a friend. Follow us on all the socials at PSVG on Twitter. Come check us out on the YouTubes, Twitch. And if you want to get some more of this nonsensical conversation where Delvin goes left every single time, come check us out on our Discord. You do. You absolutely do.
No.
Oh God, Delvin, you're something special. That's all I got.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah. And with that, play some video games.